Today on the Cowbridge Kitchen we are going to make a classic Hungarian dish. Yeah, you guessed it. We're going to make goulash. Okay, secret to any goulash is the paprika. Okay, this is the main spice of the dish. I'm going to be using a smoked paprika, which is sweet and rich. So to this I'm going to add a small amount of chili powder as well, just to get a beautiful flavour. So paprika, little bit of chili powder. Okay, let's go over the other side and I'll show you what we need to get this going. So, what are we going to put in our goulash? There's lots of different recipes for goulash, so I'm not saying that mine is the be-all and end-all, but this is my recipe for goulash. We're going to use some carrots, going to use some tomatoes, some green, some red peppers, onion, some potato, and obviously some diced beef. Okay, I'll show you how to. We get these chopped up now quite quickly, and then we'll get over onto the stove and we'll show you what we need to do there. We have our veg cutter, our potatoes, our carrots, our onions, our tomatoes, and our peppers. So, over at the stove, we have an oven-proof casserole dish, which is what we're going to cook our goulash in, okay? Right, for measure, I'm going to use a serving spoon, which is a little bit more than a tablespoon, probably like a tablespoon and a half maybe, but I'm going to use a serving spoon. Okay, so what we're going to add to this now is some olive oil, although pork lard is traditionally used, but we'll use olive oil in ours. Okay, pop that into the casserole dish. There we go. Get our heat on there, and what we want to do in here at a medium heat now is we're going to get our onions all thrown into that, and we're going to let them brown off for about 10 minutes or so. So for the paprika mix, like I said, we're going to use smoky paprika or smoked paprika because it's got a nice sweet, rich sort of flavour to it. For this, what we're going to want to add is, you add quite a lot. It's the main spice in the in a goulash. Okay, so I'm going to want to add. Let me get it to move. One. I'm going to need to add 2 of these. 2 good serving spoons of that, okay? That's smoked paprika. There we are. And on top of the smoked paprika, then we're going to add, like I said, our chili powder. Okay, we're not going to add a whole lot. We're going to add just a slightly heaped teaspoon of chili powder to the paprika, and we get that all mixed in together. And that's going to give us a lovely, lovely flavour and a little bit of a kick. So we get that all mixed up. So 2 serving spoons of smoked paprika, 1 heaped teaspoon of hot chili powder. There we are. Pop that aside with the rest of the ingredients. There we are. So while those onions are browning off now, and they're almost brown, to be honest. Yeah, in fact they are quite nice. What we're going to do, I've got about 450 grams here of diced beef. Nice sort of small diced beef. Okay, I'm going to pop this lot now into those onions. There we are. We just throw all that into there. Throw that lovely diced beef in there, and we'll mix that in to our onions, and we're going to let that cook there for about another 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, get that all mixed in until that meat is no longer pink. Okay, so it's all been sort of cooked on the outside, and we have to leave that cooked there, like I say, for about 7 minutes. So while the beef is cooking, what else we're going to need? We're going to need about 400 millilitres now of beef stock. Okay, so get yourself a beef stock cube, and just get that all ground up into a measuring jug. There we go. Dead simple, pretty self-explanatory. What we're going to do then, top that up with water up to 400 ml. There we go. There's 400 ml of beef stock. Let's get ourselves a little bit of a whisk, and we'll just whisk that in until it's all dissolved. And then we can set that aside now, because we'll use this while it's still relatively hot. So we'll set that aside, and we can use that once we're ready to tip that in to our goulash. And there we are. So our steak has been cooking in there now for about another 5 to 7 minutes or so. And as you can see, it's started to go quite brown now, looking a pretty decent colour. And the steak has produced a whole load of fluid of its own as well. So that's going to just add to the flavour. So what we're going to do at this stage is add 1 crushed garlic clove into that mix there. Get that in there. And then what we need to do is to get this off the heat, okay? Because we don't want to fry the paprika when we put it in, because it'll just go all bitter and horrible. So we'll take this now off the heat and pop it there. And while this is off the heat, what we're going to do is add our paprika and chilli mix to it. So there we go, we'll get all of that in now. And mix that into there. And like I said, there's enough fluid from the beef itself now to stop that paprika from burning. And we can get that all mixed in now into our beef, and that's going to add a pretty decent flavour to it. It already smells pretty good. We get all the beef coated now with the paprika chili mix that we made up a bit earlier. There we go. Okay, so what we can do at this stage now, we'll pop our goulash mix back onto the heat, okay, and just get that warming back up nicely. And then we'll add our beef stock to it. Okay, so we've got all of our beef stock here. What we're going to do now is just tip that into there, fill that up, lovely, and stir that around. There we are. And that, I've got to be fair, is already smelling pretty fantastic. So we'll add our other ingredients now. First of all, we're going to add our potatoes. Now just drop our potatoes in. Next, we're going to add our carrots. Just tip them into there as well. Then we're going to add our green and red peppers. We'll get all of them bad boys in there. And that is starting to look pretty spectacular. And then we're going to add our chopped up tomatoes. There we are, throw them in as well. So we get all of this mixed up now. Finally, to this, what we're going to add is 2 serving spoons now of tomato puree. There we are. 1 and 2 good serving spoons of tomato puree to that mix. Get all that mixed in. There we are. Give it all a good old mix there now with a spoon, just to get it all incorporated into each other. And the smell already is smelling pretty good indeed. There we go. Okay, so with that goulash all mixed in together now, what we're going to do is we're going to get a lid onto our oven-proof dish, and then we're going to cook that in the oven. Okay, so we've got a preheated oven, about 180 or so. We're going to pop this casserole dish now into the centre of that oven, and we're going to let that cook for about an hour and a half, and then should be ready to go. So there we are, our goulash has been cooking for about an hour and 20 minutes or so at 180. So I've just had a quick look at it and it's ready. So we're going to whip it out now and take a little look. Oh, smells beautiful. There we are, one authentic Hungarian goulash. A good idea, what we can do with this now, if you want to keep this warm while you're doing your rice and your accompaniment for it, your bread and so on, is to put this in the slow cooker and keep it on warm. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, to finish this goulash off, we have 4 things. We've got some chives, some sour cream, some ciabatta, and some rice that I cooked off earlier. What we're going to do, we're going to pop the rice into the microwave, cut the ciabatta up, and get that toasted. There we are, so we just chop our chives up into small little pieces and do tons of these things. Chives are lovely and they're great with sour cream, which is what we're going to be serving our goulash with. Let's get all the big bits out of the way. There we go. God, they smell so nice. Smell so good. Yeah, and with our ciabatta, we're going to cut him in half. Take ourselves a bread knife. Okay, we're going to slice that right down the centre, like so. Cut him into halves again. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to drizzle some olive oil over the top of it. And then over at the stove, we have a griddle pan going, and what we're going to do, we're going to pop our ciabatta bread onto that and let that toast on that griddle pan. Going to be beautiful. So we have ciabatta, sour cream, chives and rice. Can't wait. So there we are, rice is done. Get that out of the microwave, pop that on a plate. Beautiful. Nice big dollop of goulash now, which is in the slow cooker, remember, okay? So we get that out of the slow cooker. Beautiful. Look at that. And what you want to serve this with now is a nice big dollop of sour cream, because it's going to have a bit of a kick to it. Some chives, olive oil, ciabatta. Check that out. Beef goulash, ciabatta, sour cream, chives and rice. Enjoy.